It's about putting words together in the correct way. I usually refer to what I do rather than poetry as spells. Because if words are ordered correctly and presented correctly, it moves people. Market was written because I was reading an email that was sent to me about a rapper in the Latino community. And they were saying, you know, he's selling out our community. Y'all should buy my CD because I got shot 3 times at a 3 to 9 and all that. See, there's a market for... True Lies was actually commissioned by a group called the Guerrilla News Network. And they wrote a book called True Lies about Iraq. And they sent me the book and they wanted me to write a poem regarding the book. We can make the war on terror distract them like videos and TV shows with scantily clad women covering with oil, rub it in like lotion, put F-16s in the skies and battleships in the ocean. As a kid, when I was 9 years old, my thing was to take Rapper's Delight and write it out and then see how I could change the words around and make it say what I wanted to say. Just get freaky with it. A friend of mine we used to do parties together. And he went out on his own. I stopped doing it. And he kept throwing parties. I kept telling him I was going to come. And I always missed him. And the next thing he threw was a poetry reading. When I went, everything changed. You know, when I sat there and I saw what people were doing, I felt like I had to do it. It was in my blood, you know, boiling so badly. So I left and I started working on it right there. And that's when I knew right then and there I had to do this. Right now, the best thing going for me is a book that I wrote called Troubled Soul Refinery. The book is every poem I've ever written. It's 100 poems, 340 pages. And it's something that it's going to be significant to people for their lives. And the book is about making people understand how significant they are, how significant our culture is. I've been operating this Troubled Soul Refinery since the mid-1990s. And ever since I got my eyes free, I've been trying to free the minds of my brethren by telling them what you deserve and become the central spoken word figure of my generation. But if you talk to the people who copy the people who copy the people who copy the people who copy me, they'll tell you I must have some nerve. They even started a show called Deaf Poetry and broadcasted hundreds of poets, and Taalam Acey imitators amount to almost a third. But I ain't supposed to talk about that fact or not, because people get confused and start to wonder if I'm really out to speak truth to power or whether I'm out for the type of egotistical, self-centered fame and fortune that rappers got. Which is hilarious, because most rich rappers ain't built no legacy and they're already headed back to the block. So don't be surprised if 20 years from now you see your favorite millionaire rapper outside your local supermarket organizing the shopping carts. But this spoken word can only be done right from the heart. That successful business consultant and college professor that had to do it spend tens of thousands of dollars a year on plane tickets to show up to venues where both me and the crowd wonder if I'm stupid. And perhaps you should ask my mother if she feels some kind of way about her son not earning his living with his accounting degree and MBA. I certainly had enough education and never have had to sleep in them subway and Greyhound stations, but I'm dedicated to the operation of this Troubled Soul Refinery. What matters most is when your soul is troubled, you think to yourself, you know, Taalam Acey used to have this poem, and just like you are not your car, I am not this physical form. So I'm thinking when I die, maybe I should be cremated instead of being embalmed. Then you can pour my ashes into recycled paper and save a cup of my blood for the bindery. Then whenever you're in pain, you can find peace within the pages of my Troubled Soul Refinery.